Treating the patient with atrial fibrillation can be confusing and can be tricky. So to make it simple, let's first ask some questions. The first question to ask is if the patient is stable or unstable. So if the patient is unstable, fantastic. The job becomes easy. Just go for cardioversion without having a thought about any anticoagulation or transesophageal echo. Just keep all those steps. Directly go for cardioversion. And you might ask, what if there is thromboembolism? So here you have a patient who have hemodynamic instability who might even die. So that's why the first priority is to save the patient. And that's why just stop thinking about anything else and focus on saving the patient. So the first thing to do in an unstable patient with acute atrial fibrillation is giving a shock. That's very simple. So the first question to ask is if the patient is unstable or not. Unstable, shock. Now, sometimes if the patient is stable, still we might go for shock. When we can give shock, even if the patient is stable. The first question for that is the patient anticoagulated for other reason? Or maybe he had atrial fibrillation before, but came at right now with a recent attack or current attack, and he has been anticoagulated with maybe warfarin or oral anticoagulant drugs, and he has been taking it for like weeks and months, maybe at least 3 weeks or more than that. In that case, you can actually go for cardioversion, maybe pharmacological or electrical cardioversion, because as the patient has been anticoagulated for a prolonged duration, it's very likely that the patient probably does not have any clot in the left atrium. So the risk for the thromboembolism from clot becomes very low. And the last case where you can still go for cardioversion in acute patient is if you are sure and the patient is sure that the AF duration is less than 24 hours. So 24 hours is a very short time to develop the clot in the left atrium or left atrial appendage, to be more specific. So if the duration is less than 24 hours, you can actually safely go for this procedure. This is cardioversion. So if the answer to all those questions are no, like the patient is stable, not unstable, patient does not have any history of anticoagulation, and patient's AF onset is not less than 24 hours, it's more than 24 hours. So in those cases, the better thing to do or the best thing to do is to wait for the anticoagulant to work. So you actually have to start the anticoagulation and wait for at least 3 to 4 weeks. And after that, you can go for the cardioversion. And there is a small bypass, and the bypass is you might just do a TEE. So if the TEE shows that there is no SCC or there is no clot, then you don't have to wait for that long. You can actually cardiovert after the TEE shows that there is no clot or there is no SCC or significant SCC. So then you can just cardiovert the patient. But if you are not going for TEE, you just have to give the drug for 3 to 4 weeks. And after that, you just cardiovert the patient. But important thing is, for whatever reason, you cardiovert the patient, usual practice is to give the anticoagulant drug for at least 4 weeks after the cardioversion. And why is that? Because even if you cardiovert a patient, electrically, the ECG shows absolutely normal findings, but the LA morphology or the LA function, left atrial function, may not actually recover with the electrical recovery. So the electrical recovery does not always mean that the LA has recovered its function. LA might still be like weak and flabby. It's not contracting well. So there is still a small risk of development of clot even after you have done the cardioversion. So it's a good practice to give the short duration of anticoagulation. Even if the CHA2DS score is 0, you go for a short course of anticoagulation for at least 4 weeks after cardioverting the patients to protect the patient for a risk of thromboembolism. Now, after 4 weeks, we expect that the ALA actually recovers mechanically. So it recovers, it gains up its systolic function, and the risk for development of clot becomes much lower. So that period of anticoagulation after cardioversion is not based on JADVA score, rather it's just a step that you take after the cardioversion for almost all patients, almost all, because you can skip that dose of anticoagulation only in one group, and that is if the duration of AFs have been so short, like less than 24 hours, that it's unlikely to have mechanical consequences. So you might skip the anticoagulation in those patients. So that's it. Those are the things that you have to remember. You ask the most important questions. If the patient is unstable or not, first question. If unstable, go for shock. If the patient has been anticoagulated or not. If anticoagulated, go for shock. If the AF duration less than 24 hours, go for shock. And if all the answer to those questions are negative, fine, you can still go for shock or, pharmacological cardioversion. If you have availability of TEE and the patient agrees to go for a TEE, and you do TEE, TEE shows there is no clot, fine, go for shock or maybe pharmacological cardioversion, and everything's negative, fine, give a short course of anticoagulation for 3 to 4 weeks, and after that, you give a shock, and after shock or a pharmacological cardioversion, go for another 4 weeks of anticoagulation. That's it. That's the important summary of management of acute atrial fibrillation, basically with fast ventricular rate.